Hey friends, welcome to this video. Now today, just wanted to hit record and share a few losses and a few wins that I've had along the year. Here we are already. We're on the fourth quarter. Thanksgiving is coming up. That's always that kick in the ass that we need in order to make any progress on any goals that we had set for this year, or hopefully you've knocked out some of them goals already. But there's always plenty to do. You definitely don't want to wait for all the normies to make their New Year resolutions. This is where, if you're on my channel, if you're looking for personal development, you know that this is the time to start, or as they say, the best time to start is now. So yes, I have been missing in action for a while, and that's pretty much the first loss that I want to share with you guys, is that I've made so many excuses behind putting up more content. I blame it on the fact that I have a career. I blame it on the fact that I have a family to take care of. I blame it on the fact that I have to work out. But the true fact is that it's all excuses, because if we really look more in depth to anything that we want to progress in or that needs our attention, we will make the time for it. Now, along all of those responsibilities that I just mentioned, whether it's career, family, health, or what have you, there is other activities that I've wasted a lot of time in. I'll sometimes take up home projects that I know are not going to help me progress within this endeavor. Or I will do maybe some car repair that I shouldn't be doing. Or sometimes I'll end up cleaning the house myself, where I can maybe get some of my older kids to help out with. I can maybe look into hiring some help to clean. Maybe not every day or every week, but maybe semi-monthly or monthly. Everybody's case is different, but what I personally started looking at is that what are the activities that I can eliminate so that I can sit my ass down here and be able to focus, lock in, and record some of this content, because I still have the nerve to ask myself, why is this YouTube thing not working? Well, duh, you're not uploading any videos. If you do not upload videos, whether that's a channel, if you do not upload a podcast episode that could be on a podcast, or even a simple Instagram page, if you're not consistently posting and sharing content, sharing value, then your account, your content, your subscribers, it's not going to grow. You're not going to get any views. You're not going to get any activity at all. And like I said, it's pretty obvious, right? But I think it's a mistake that many of us make as we try to start something different, to start something new that will move us closer to that goal. Because this same rules applies to a business or a career advancement. If you're not investing into the activity that will create that change, then we won't necessarily see any change. And like I said, this especially applies in content creation, because I think I've heard somebody mention that if you're not feeding the machine being YouTube or being Instagram or whatever other platform you're using, then you're falling behind. And this doesn't have to necessarily be posting random stuff every day, but you get the idea. You have to stay consistent. I mean, I follow plenty of people that post weekly. They might post twice a week, and they have very, very decent subscribership. They have very good views, and their value is outstanding. So, they have a successful channel. They have a successful business where they can continue to build momentum on. And that's why I thought I would share this, because even if as I did, before I hit record, I did do a couple practice runs, which was not too many. I was having more trouble organizing my lighting or what have you, which is another thing that if you don't get a system down, then aside from all the mental resistance that you get to create content or to get started in any endeavor, is your environment. It's hard enough to get in the right mindset to record or to even go work out, or maybe you're making sales calls or what have you. It's hard enough to get in that mental state. So if you have your environment working against you, then it's going to be that much harder to be able to get started. So what I've done here with my new little setup is I've tried to set up everything where I can just pretty much get my lighting working for the video. I don't have to mess with any angles or what have you. I like this angle right here. All I have to do is grab my mic, hit record, and we're a go. So anything that I think will hold me back, I try to eliminate that. And like I mentioned, you've heard plenty of analogies behind exercising. If you're gonna run in the morning, make sure you don't just set your alarm clock, but maybe sleep with your running shorts or your running sweats on, and have the shoes right by your bed. That way there is no excuse for you to get started. And of course, I mentioned momentum. Like I said, I've really been able to experience that momentum in the past with some of the videos or the content that I do have out there, where I've had seasons of being consistent, and I can tell that person behind the camera is another guy. even though it's me, I can tell that flow state really takes over, because the ideas really start to flow. They really start to show and come through the video. The message just starts hitting a little different versus when you're completely cold, you haven't recorded content in a while, or maybe you might be completely new to this content creation journey. So just getting started is very, very important. Just pretty much diving in, because don't get me wrong, like I know what it's like being completely new to speaking in a camera, speaking in public in general, and just working on your communication. It can be very, very difficult, but that really is my best advice, my simple advice that I can give you and that I gave myself, is basically just dive in. Before hitting record, I had all of this resistance. I had all of these thoughts. It's like, should I come up with a different topic? Should I script something? Should I set up some mental or set up some bullet points so I won't have to think so much? And you know what? I was like, I'm just going to hit record, and I'm going to share my experience. I'm going to share my truths, which is what I'm sharing in this video, as I mentioned. So like I said, as we approach the end of the year, I really thought you could get some value out of this, because I know people talk about wins and yes, get the most out of your year, or this or that. But I don't think a lot of people really share the losses, because we really need to look at what are some of the losses we had and the resistance that held us back throughout the year. Because for me personally, yeah, like I said, I'll get to the wins, but I know I could have made much more progress with my content if I had like I said, the systems and the environment. So now I can begin to diagnose and look at the systems or look at where the resistance came from, so I can fix it. Because if not, I'm just going to be spinning my wheels the rest of the year or next year, or whenever I try to progress with content creation. So that's where you can kind of start looking at, hey, maybe I could have progressed more with my nutrition, my eating habits. Maybe I could have lost a little more weight, or I could have made more gains in the gym with my lifts. Look at the systems that will contribute to to the goals that you're trying to achieve. Now, as far as wins, I have been busy. I think we all have a life outside of content creation. Not everybody's meant to share their life on camera for the public to see. So I have been busy with my career. I've made some amazing financial wins that I'm definitely proud of. I've been able to save my 6-month emergency fund, which was always a goal for me. I've been mortgage free for the past 5 years. I'm not sure if I ever shared that on any of my content, but that's something that was definitely a win for me that has allowed a lot more freedom in my life, a lot more mental bandwidth to be able to free that up is just amazing. And like I said, everybody's story is different, because if you're wondering how I got mortgage free, I mean, there's plenty of content out there to help accelerate your mortgage. It also depends on what type of house you have. My house was not that expensive when I purchased it, so that definitely played a big part in me being able to leverage that. And as I mentioned, just additional principal payments throughout the year that helped me accelerate the mortgage. And you can do your research on Google to how to apply that on some of your finances. So what I've been working on now is to pretty much improve my credit score, get it above 700, especially right now while we wait for hopefully rates to come down a bit. So I've been able to focus on that. Like I mentioned, I don't have an existing mortgage at this time. I have my emergency fund if I need to make a career transition, or if my business here, my endeavors, and my content creation really starts progressing, then I might make a change there with my career. So you never know what you can expect. So the best thing you can do is to always contribute and always prepare by achieving those smaller goals. Maybe being able to increase your savings in case there's a new opportunity for you to take on. Or if you're happy with where you are, make progress in how you can accelerate your mortgage, so that maybe not pay it off completely if you still want to leverage the loan and maybe you have a low interest, but just to be able to progress and not have so much debt to worry about. So definitely some financial wins there. Now, as far as fitness, I have been working out pretty hard, which I know it's a little hard to explain, but I think I've kind of been using that as an excuse to not film content. And I know many of you are probably like, well, wait a minute, Jesse, working out and fitness is an important part of your life. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Yes and no, because I'm really trying to progress with content. So as I mentioned, when it comes to content, there is a lot of resistance that comes up. And by working out, I know I'm doing a good thing. So I'm not necessarily saying it's unhealthy for me, but I do want to admit that it's bad in a sense that I'm using it as an excuse to, hey, I'm working on my health. I worked out, so that's a win for the day. I don't have to record a video. I don't have to work on my communication. No, so that's where using my fitness and my workouts as an excuse to not work on my communication or work on my content creation is not necessarily a good thing. But as I mentioned, I have made some gains in the gym, so I've been able to get some of my lifts up. For me, my personal goals, everybody's fitness goal is completely different. I'm not a very big guy, so I don't look to be, that big, because it's going to make me look shorter. I'm 5'6", maybe 5'7" on a good day. So I don't want to be, walking around with too much muscle. So I'm looking for strength and endurance. So I really feel like I made some progress there, and it feels good. It feels good to be able to make that progress. And trust me, there is a plethora of workout routines you can follow. I was doing more of a what they call a traditional bro split, where you're pretty much working out about 5 times a week. So that was pretty much all my week. And now I'm looking at more of a hybrid style of workout with maybe two strength training days and one cross training day. That way I can free up some time for this content that I want to create, and at the same time still be able to push myself on those 3 days in order to make progress in my fitness goals. Not to mention that there's a lot more recovery in there. So recovery is really, really important. And you know that this is coming from a guy that loves to push himself very, very hard to be able to make progress in my endurance, in my strength, and my performance. So in conclusion, don't feel too bad if you didn't make as much progress as you expected throughout the year. As I mentioned, for me personally, I had financial goals, I had fitness goals, I had business and investment, with which, when you talk about business, for me, it is this content creation endeavor. It's building this personal brand. So if I don't contribute to it, that's a loss for me personally. But as I mentioned, look back at what were the key areas that were affecting your progress. Where were you getting the most resistance from? And go back and analyze how you can fix those issues. As I mentioned, whether it's setting up systems, investing in the right equipment, or even the right people that will help you progress and take you away from the resistance that was holding you back, whether that was mental resistance, an activity, or what have you. But I also want to encourage you to definitely celebrate your wins. As I mentioned, you haven't seen me on camera, and that's a bad thing for me personally. But outside of my content creation, I've really had some major wins. I've really been able to progress in areas that I was really struggling in. So I'm really proud of that. However, as I always say, it's all about continuous improvement. You got to keep progressing. You have to make progress. That is the ultimate fulfillment. And I will say it's sometimes a better feeling than actually achieving the goal, because just think about it. Achieving the goal is kind of the end of the journey. So do you really want to make it the end of the journey? It's like, no, I think you end up feeling more alive throughout the journey. So it's definitely all about progression. Okay, guys, so there you have it. Just wanted to kind of share some wins and some losses that I had throughout the year of 2023. And like I said, we are in the 4th quarter, so definitely get the most you can get out of this year while you can. I wanted to keep this video, from the heart. I didn't want to script or anything, even though I was tempted to, or even plan out, a specific topic or what have you. But like I said, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll definitely continue to upload more consistently, post more often, and hopefully improve my content along the way so that you can take more value for yourself. So with that said, guys, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to share, like, or subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.